Welcome to this tutorial, where we will build a tic-tac-toe game using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. This project includes player name inputs, game history tracking, and a winner announcement system. We will also discuss why we are using vanilla JavaScript instead of libraries like jQuery or React. So let's get started. Section 1. Structuring the game with HTML. We will first discuss the structure of the application. It's a simple one, and if you have some HTML knowledge from past, you will get it quickly. So the HTML file includes an H1 title for the tic-tac-toe game, 2 input fields for player X and player O to enter their names, a start button that initializes the game, a 3x3 game board built using a div container on a JavaScript, a reset button and a history section to track moves, and a pop-up for announcement of the winner. This simple and lightweight structure ensures easy styling and interaction. Section 2. Styling the game with CSS. We use CSS to make the game visually appealing and responsive. Key features include a modern gradient background, CSS grid to create an even 3x3 layout, hover effects and animations for smooth user interaction, a pop-up to display the winner's name. This CSS code defines the styles for a visually appealing user interface. Let's break it down. The body element is styled with the font family Poppins, along with Arial and sans serif as fallbacks. It uses Flexbox to center its content both vertically and horizontally while stacking elements in a column layout. The background is a smooth gradient from dark blue to grayish blue and features an animated gradient shift for a dynamic effect. The board is a grid layout with 3 columns and 3 rows, each cell being 100 pixels square. The board has a slightly darker gradient background, rounded corners, and a subtle box shadow for depth. Each cell inside the board has a light-colored gradient background and a bold dark blue border. The text inside is large, and when hovered over, the background lightens, and the cell slightly scales up. The history section is styled for displaying past moves. It has a flexible layout that allows wrapping, with a dark gradient background, rounded corners, and a subtle shadow. The buttons use a red gradient background that darkens on hover, giving a smooth transition effect. They are also slightly enlarged when hovered over. The pop-up element is positioned at the center of the screen with a white gradient background. It features a fade-in animation and a soft shadow for prominence. The input fields have a soft background gradient and a border that turns red when focused, along with a glowing shadow effect. Finally, animations are used to add interactive effects, including a subtle gradient shift for the background and a fade-in effect for the pop-up. Overall, this CSS code creates a modern, interactive, and visually appealing user experience. Section 3. Implementing game logic with JavaScript. Now, let's add interactivity using JavaScript. First, let's define the key elements. The board and history div are retrieved using document.getElementById. This allows JavaScript to manipulate the game board and display move history dynamically. A pop-up is created using document.createElementDiv and styled as a hidden element. It will later be used to display the winner announcement. The game state is maintained using board state, an array representing the tic-tac-toe board with 9 positions. Current player, a variable tracking the current player X or O. History, a list storing past board states for move tracking. Players, an object storing player names. Game started, a boolean to prevent moves before the game starts. The start game function is responsible for retrieving player names from input fields, ensuring both players have entered their names, resetting the game state and starting a new match. The createBoard function dynamically generates the grid. Each cell is created with document.createElementDiv, assigned a class, and populated with existing values from board state. Clicking a cell triggers the makeMove function. The makeMove function ensures fair gameplay by preventing moves before the game starts, ignoring moves on occupied cells, updating the board state and switching players, checking for a winner after each move. The Update History function dynamically generates move history buttons. Clicking a history button restores the board to that state. The Check Winner function evaluates the board against predefined winning patterns. If a pattern matches, the game ends, and a pop-up announces the winner. The Show Winner function displays the pop-up with the winner's name, hiding it after a few seconds for a smooth transition. The Reset Game function restores the game board, resets the history, and starts a new round. Now the reasons why we chose vanilla JavaScript: because it is lightweight and fast. It avoids unnecessary dependencies. It provides better performance than jQuery. It helps understand the core fundamentals of JavaScript. This JavaScript implementation ensures an engaging and interactive gaming experience. Now the development is complete, let's go for the demo of the app.